Welcome to Goal Line, brought to you by Erm Pensions. My name is Tega Anojaife, and I'll be taking you on all the events that have taken place in Russia. It's been exciting. The extra time, the penalty shootouts, the yellow cards, some red cards, VAR, and what have you. We're going to be discussing all of that on this show, and today I have a guest pundit who is a corporate lawyer, and he'll know a thing or two about defending and opposing motions. My guest today is Richard Eziefe. Welcome to Goal Line.
Hello everyone, thank you for having me on. It's amazing to be on the show.
How has World Cup been for you?
Good. I mean, surprising, but in a very good way. I mean, I'm happy with the guys who have made it to the finals. It's, for me, a better reflection of the World Cup in terms of their journey through and all of that stuff. I will talk about why I'm particularly happy maybe later on.
Yeah, we're going to get to all of that. I think we're on the same page on that. But before we get to all of that, let me remind you, we have been getting a lot of World Cup moments from people. Here is your chance to win a 5,000 naira from ARM Pensions. Remember, hashtag GoalLine and follow at ARM Engage. Send in those pictures to win a 5,000 naira voucher. We'll be selling you all of that after this break. We'll be right back.
Let's say you're young right now. You got that nice job, getting a good salary. It's fantastic, right? You can buy all those things you dreamed of when you were in school. Even the jollof rice you eat now comes with 3 pieces of meat. You keep hearing about pensions, but that's just stuff for old people, Abby. But eventually you'll get older. And when you get older, you'll stop working. And when you stop working, you'll stop getting that salary you liked so much. Unless you played it smart. So while you were working, you signed up with ARM Pensions and saved enough money to make your tomorrow even better than today. Now you're 56 and your jollof rice comes with 5 pieces of meat. Sharp guy. ARM Pensions. Tomorrow is looking good.
Is that crunch time of the show where we get to put our guest pundit Richard on a hot seat. And we're going to start right now with the previews and reviews. This is Goal Line, brought to you by ARM Pensions. Richard, on the hot seat, first things first, Luka Modric has talked about England and Croatia, and he said that the English media underestimated the Croatians. You think that's what happened to England?
I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't necessarily have any sympathy towards the England team is, and if you ask them, the English press. They overhype and they have a way of denigrating other teams when it comes to when they're playing against them. It's typical with them. They hype, keep talking about 1966 for some of those who weren't even born then. This was a little bit of a surprise even for them. Yeah. Nobody gave them a chance. But as soon as they got past that whole typical thing, and even for me, I think it also reflected in the game. After they got a fantastic goal by Kieran Trippier, by the way, fantastic. They now went into that shell, and defensively, I thought they were sound, compact in the midfield, closed down the Croatians very early, made it difficult for them to develop a rhythm up to a point. But I think as time went on, I thought it was too early when they started trying to waste time, fall, and then I'm like, this is going to be a problem. And then when the world's best striker missed glaring chances, he missed that one. I think Jesse Lingard missed another sitter. I turned to someone I was watching and like, England is likely to pay for this if they're not careful. If
you were sitting in Gareth Southgate's chair, what would you have done differently in the second half where they seem to have lost it to Croatia and in extra time?
In terms of his selection, I think they've always been light on creativity in the midfield area. And it's no surprise to me why the majority of their goals came from set pieces and things like that. They lacked I was going to leave that for you. They lacked creativity. They lacked the ability to penetrate. So beyond the pace, and there's sometimes when pace requires a little bit of intelligence, which is why someone like Raheem Sterling should not always be your go-to person. Lingard had a good game, but really at critical times when you needed that little bit of creativity, someone to hold the ball, to move and then create some intricate passing, it was lacking for them. And when push came to shove in this game, they ran out of ideas very quickly, and that started draining them mentally, which is why they kept going back, they kept going back, and then trying to play for extra time.
I think ultimately creativity, number one, is lack of problem, and no plan B really for the English.
Yes, that's
no
right.
That's right.
No
Okay, let's talk about somebody who says that there was plan B, but it wasn't a lack of plan B, and it wasn't a lack of creativity. The Belgian coach Martinez has come out to say that Belgium didn't bring the magic against France. And they have Lukaku scoring goals up front. But talking about magic, where was the magic supposed to come from?
When I saw that Moussa Dembele was playing in that game, I was concerned. Because the way they set up against the Brazilians, I thought that it was a master stroke. Give them all the possession and then make those quick counter-attacking transitions. That was absent for them in this game against France. And it cost them because it then made it a lot easier for the likes of N'Golo Kante to push high up and press them. It makes it difficult for you to be creative. And with that lack of that game cost them. Lukaku was isolated. Eden Hazard had a little bit of flash, but not enough to
But Kevin De Bruyne completely missing in that game.
Again.
And that was the magic.
Again, that was part of the magic that was missing. But it's a credit to the way France set up to make it impossible for them to play.
I support the motion. I support the motion. Bailey, take him to court.
Okay.
Gareth Southgate has said to the press that this English team getting to the semi-finals as it is, playing for third place, they have set the benchmark. If you were judging this English team, would you say that they overachieved or they succeeded, or would you say there's no benchmark, you didn't win the World Cup, those in 1966?
Okay, so to be clear, going into this World Cup, everyone in England said this team is for Qatar 2022.
So they've succeeded?
Not for me. And I'll tell you why. I look at their journey in the World Cup to the semi-final. And when you look at the opposition and their path to it, it wasn't as challenging when you look at what France went through, when you look at what the Croatians went through. I said to someone yesterday, literally, that on two key occasions when England were tested, they were found wanting.
Belgium and Croatia.
Yeah.
So
when you look at it on that basis, then I can't say that they have set a benchmark.
And so far, you have sold me on a lot of things. You should defend me. I mean, I'm a bit of a troublemaker. But before I make any more trouble, we'll take a very quick break, and when we come back, we'll be testing his knowledge. I can't take it from him. We have to put him on the hot seat. We'll be back. Welcome back to Goal Line, brought to you by Erm Pensions. Everything else in the past 1 month has come down to this moment. All the VAR reviews, the tackles, the suspensions, the penalties missed, the penalties scored, the extra time, the extra sweat, everything has come down to this moment. France taking on Croatia. Your thoughts after Deschamps has come out to say that the French would climb any mountain? Are we going to see a repeat of France, who had so much high hopes at 2016 and were beaten by Portugal? Or are we going to see the French side that will win the World Cup?
Apart from that game against Argentina, where there was that massive goal fest, the character of the French team for me may not necessarily have been tested. My heart wants Croatia to take this, but I feel like just the emotional roller coaster that they've dealt with up until this final, they may have enough, but my heart is going France.
With France,
yeah.
The quality of the French team.
Exactly.
I was speaking about quality. Let's look at Belgium, England again. And there was a time that the English said, we rested a few players so that we'll take the easier route to the finals. They are not in the finals. But they're facing Belgium again. The last time they met at this World Cup, it ended 1-0. Belgium, England, who takes it? I
still feel that the Belgians will have more than enough to overcome the English side. I hope and pray that that is the case, because nothing will give me greater satisfaction. I want to talk about the World Cup, everything that's happened in the World Cup. Do you think, and I want you to touch on these different things, I want you to touch on officiating, I want you to touch on goal scoring from open play, and I want you to touch on VAR. Let's start with VAR. It sold me completely. Yes, there might be a few chinks, inconsistencies in refereeing decisions, but what's football without a little bit of controversy? But it's eliminated a lot of doubt. all these things about players trying to con referees in the box and things like that. It made, for me, I think, a cleaner competition.
From goal scoring, it seemed a lot more goals came from set pieces than from open play.
Goals from set pieces were a delight to watch. Everybody likes goals, no matter how it comes. So long as the beauty is there.
There's one too many players that didn't show up at this World Cup for their teams. We can talk about the German side, from Thomas Müller to Neymar not showing up. It seemed more like Coutinho carrying the team, to Gabriel Jesus. Is it that the club season is pulling more out of them?
I'm not going to take anything away. I feel like the teams that wanted this more than anything else are the ones that got as far as it did. Because when you look at the season, for example, of Luka Modric, he played through to a UEFA Champions League final. He's had probably a longer season than most. The German team, a lot of them play at home. They won their league, the Bayern Munich team won at a canter, so you can't say that exerted them. The upheaval that took the Spanish team with the sacking of Lopetegui late in the game, I think also impacted on them. That said, I feel like the Spanish team had gotten to a point where they had peaked in the way they play and were quite easily found out. What I liked about this World Cup was that teams showed that when you play against these big teams, don't show them too much respect. And Nigeria can learn a lesson from that, considering the way they gave it away against Argentina.
My guest hasn't lost, so I'll give you an A. I don't know whether it's a plus or a minus, but it's an A.
I'll take it.
Okay, so for giveaways now, take a picture of yourself in your World Cup moment. It's the World Cup final, so you should be excited. Put that up on social media, and the picture or the video with the most likes and most retweets gets the chance to win a 5,000 Naira voucher from ARM Pensions. Remember, #go line and follow at ARM Engage. On that note, we'll take a very quick break, and when we come back, we'll be talking crystal ball moments, and there is only one thing we want to know. And here we are at that moment. We are in the place where you have to get it right. I will never forget Segun Efuakwe, who predicted Nigeria's doom. But he was right. So, Richard, you're now on the hot seat. Crystal ball moments. Better, do you have crystal ball or you have a bowl with water?
Crystal ball. Calabash.
All right. Look into your calabash now. And you know the only question we want to know. Who is taking this World Cup? France, Croatia.
Wait, let me clear the fly in this my calabash. I'm going France.
Okay, he said it. He said France. So maybe the French will be celebrating another World Cup since 1998. Or maybe a new name, Croatia, would be on that World Cup. Let's see how it goes for that. On that note, I want to thank you all for watching the show all through the season of the World Cup. We hope that for Richard and the French, that they win, and for the Croatians, we're also supporting you. Whoever gets to win, be rest assured we're going to enjoy it. I want to say thank you very much, Richard, for this time out. Yes, that A, we're going to have to celebrate it after this show. Until we meet again, when we meet again, take care and God bless.